morning, sisters, and in today's video I am going to be planting out all 17 of my David Austin roses. So I currently have 3 roses that are in pots, which are Tranquility, Darcy Bustle, and James L. Austin. I'm going to go ahead and transfer those into the ground now. My Munstead Wood rose is actually set to get here today. That is a bare root rose, so once that gets here I will show you guys how I'm going to process that one before putting it in the ground. And then as the roses continue to come day by day, I will pretty much just come out here and put the roses in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn around and show you guys how I already have everything mapped out, so I will know generally where these roses are going to be, and we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so here is just a little sketch or a drawing, if you will, of the front garden bed. And so I pretty much just went through and I did this based off of size and color. So I tried my best to put the taller ones towards the back and the smaller ones towards the front, and I tried to make sure that nothing that was too similar in color would be next to each other. Now we're just gonna go ahead and pan out to the actual garden bed, and you guys can see that I have these little sticks that are sticking up, and that is pretty much to represent the placement of each rose. Now I am going to have to go in and make some adjustments because I do have a peony root. Let me see if I can show you guys. It's right there. That is actually a peony root that is coming up that I wasn't aware of. The green sticks represent where I knew I had peonies at last year, and they are in fact the eyes are starting to come up on those as well. But if you're wondering what those green sticks are, those are not for roses, those are for my peonies. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set you guys up so that you can see what I'll be doing. So here are the 3 roses that I have right now, and the Tranquility rose, which is right here, didn't bloom for me at all last year. And then the middle one is my James L. Austin, which was my most prolific, so I wanted to make sure I had this one closer to the entryway because it had a very nice sweet smell, and it was actually one of my favorites last year. And then I have Darcy Bustle here to the far left, and that one put on a few blooms for me as well. So I'm hoping this year it will produce more of those double kind of double petaled blooms. I didn't really get that last year. I had a few towards the end of the season that attempted that, and you can see that one's already starting to try to put on foliage. So I definitely need to go ahead and get that one in the ground before it starts to take off. Alright, so I just have showing right now that the rose tone and the black cow compost are going to be the only 2 things that I am going to be filling my hole with once I dig it. David Austin recommends some type of composted cow manure or some type of compost, and then they also have their rose food, but I always just use rose tone. That works pretty good for me. So I just wanted to show you the 2 things that I'll be using to actually fill my hole. Taking just about a handful of the cow manure, and then about a handful of the rose tone. All right, one more thing that I'm going to do before I finish, I lightly pruned these in the fall, and then a few days ago I went ahead and pruned it back a little bit more. My roses didn't get extremely large last year in those pots, so I didn't have a ton of pruning to do, but I do want to go ahead. There's one stem that's kind of growing towards the soil. I'm going to go ahead and cut that just to keep any kind of diseases or anything from catching on or anything like that. I don't want that to be that close to the soil, so I'm just going to take my clippers and clip that, and then I'm just going to lightly water this in on the top. You guys saw me water the roots in, but I still want to just give it a drink of water from the top. And then the mulch that I used in the pots to overwinter them, I'm also going to mulch those back down. I always mulch my flowers so that way in these hot summers that we get here in zone 8B, they will have a chance to they can hold on to moisture a lot better when I mulch. That works very well for me, so I'm going to mulch these back over as well. And that is pretty much all I am going to do for my potted roses. They still have quite a bit of the soil from the pot still in there, so I will use that to backfill holes as needed. But I'm just going to go ahead and do my other two roses like that, and then once my bare root roses come, I will show you guys how I'm going to do that. All right, so I thought I would come back and just show you guys. This is Darcy Bustle, which is the one that I told you guys had already started putting on new foliage. You can see right there, those are the roots, or some of the roots on there. I tried to make these deep enough and wide enough to where the roots could still have a little room once I plant them in. I also wanted to say that it would have been more ideal for me to probably do this in the morning or later in the evening. It's not getting too hot right now, so today probably won't be a bad day to do this. However, it's still getting dark fairly early outside, so I wanted to do this while you guys could actually see what was going on. I've already put water in it, and I've already put the cow manure in the rose tone, so I'm basically just about to backfill it. But I figured I'll just go ahead and show this to you guys one more time and get that going, because I also forgot to show you guys that I do go back and kind of step on this a little bit around the base of the rose as I'm backfilling, and I do that to get rid of any air pockets that may be. I basically just take my foot and kind of press those air pockets out along the base of my rose bush. And I'm doing this lightly. I hope it doesn't look like I'm doing it too rough, because I'm actually going in pretty lightly with this step. And then I just kind of finish backfilling with more soil. And I'm gonna cut the inside stem, because I want to make sure that I have good aeration in the middle of my rose to keep down on any fungus. So this one right here I may leave for now, but I want to make sure that the middle stays open so that way it can breathe and I don't have to worry about any kind of funguses or anything like that. So that's it. Now we're just gonna water this one back in. Had I had any stems that were going towards the ground, I would have cut those off as well, just to keep down on any soil bacteria or fungus affecting the flower. I mean the plant as well. So water this in, and then I'm going to add that layer of mulch back on top of it, and that'll be it for our roses that were potted this year. And then I just have to wait for the rest of my roses to get here. Okay, so my rose just got here, and this is the bag that they put it in. The root looks very nice and healthy. So they did have it, they had a little bit of moisture, and so it came very nice. I also got this planting guide, which comes with all of their roses so far I've gotten. Has how to plant your bare root roses and your quart roses, which all of my roses I planted in the beginning were quart roses that I had put into pots. And so the first step is to rehydrate your bare root rose. So I already have a bucket with some water here. I'm just going to stick that in there. It says for a minimum of 2 hours. Mine may possibly go a little bit longer than 2 hours because I am about to have to run some errands. So I'll go ahead and let it soak. And then I'm going to go ahead and dig that hole. And honestly, outside of this soaking process, nothing that I'm going to do is different from what I showed you guys earlier as far as adding the rose tone and the composted cow manure. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this in now. So here is a better view of the rose. So those are the root, and this is where all of your flowers are produced. All right, so I have it in the bucket now, and I added a little bit more water just to make sure that those roots were going to be rehydrated nicely, and we will be back to put this one in the ground. And here are the roots after soaking. So we are going to go ahead and put it in the ground. Taking my foot, pressing down that air pocket, also making sure that this is in nice and sturdy. And then we're going to continue backfilling the hole. So I am satisfied with the way that this looks, and until my next roses come, that'll be it for now. All right, so this is day 2 of the process. I had 6 roses come in last night. I had already gone yesterday morning and dug the 6 holes because I didn't want to, that was one less thing I would have to do. I have already soaked all of these for 2 hours last night as well. So I'm just going to kind of pan over. So there's a few holes, but all of them are going to have to be dug out wider which I was sure that that was what I was going to have to do, but I just wanted to get the initial hole dug. So right here I have Winchester Cathedral. There is going to be Bring Me Sunshine, and there in the back will be Queen Elizabeth. I'll probably show that process on camera today, and the other three I'm just going to go ahead and knock those out, so you guys can, I guess, see that again. Like I said, only thing I did different for my bare root opposed to the ones that were potted, I had to soak them for 2 hours, and that's really it. Still going to use that same black cow manure and my Epsom brand Rose Tone as a first feeder. I'm going to water in these holes and then backfill them as well. So I'm going to knock out the other three, and then we'll come back and do the other ones on camera. I am back. I am down to my final 3 roses for today. My goal is to dig a hole deep enough and wide enough where these bottom roots don't bend too much, and where this area where the stems are coming off of will be level to the ground. So that is what I'm doing. So just gonna fill it with some of that black cow. And finishing off with the Rose Tone. And kind of while I hold this in, place, I'm just taking my spade and I'm just going to start backfilling this hole. And I have a lot of chunks because our soil it does have a decent amount of clay, so this has never been an issue for me before. And this is actually the better side of my garden, actually. And that is pretty much all I do. I just go in afterwards and give it a nice little watering, and then I'll just do the same thing to the other two. It's going to be the same process, so since it'll be redundant, I'll go ahead and finish these, and then I'll be back. Okay, so all of them have been put in place. So I guess I should tell you the ones I actually put in today. This is Queen Elizabeth. This is Bring Me Sunshine. This one is Winchester's Cathedral. That one there is Thomas A. Becket. This one is the Lark Ascending. And then I put in Princess Anne in the back. So this is how it looks for now. And I have 7 more total that I have coming. And once I put those in the ground, I'll come back and show you guys the finished results, and that'll be it. Okay, as promised, we are here. All of the David Austin roses have been planted. I have 17 in this bed. Here's a full view I do need to go back and try to knock some of this clay. You guys can see I have lots of clay in my soil. Get this kind of back nice and even. And that's going to conclude the video. So we will be coming back as these bloom, and of course I will be coming with a rose tour once everything starts to bloom. Hopefully I get blooms on all of my 17 roses this year in their first year. So I hope that this video was informative. If you guys like this video, please do give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on your notification bell so you'll know every time we post new content. And until these begin to bloom, we will see you guys the next time.